When will you know that your body is in peak physical condition? If it is at the moment, how do you know that it is? And if you're striving to have a body that's healthy, fit, strong, lean, energetic, how do you measure that up? How do you know that your body's exactly the way you want it to be? So do you look in the mirror and say, wow, I look great naked? Do you have the energy, vitality, everything you need to go out and do cool stuff like snow skiing, snowboarding, hiking, biking, trekking, doing fun things? Is it that you can handle stress? So behind me at the moment, there are some farmers who have had to look after baby animals, baby lambs, baby goats, baby cows, freezing cold, snow. What do I do with all of these beautiful animals that are worth a lot of money? And the snow came pretty quickly and fairly unexpected, because 2 kilometres down the road there is no snow. And here we are where farmers have had to say, what are we going to do? And they've had to do it in a hurry. So that means they've got to be fit, they've got to be strong, they've got to be energetic, they've got to be able to work all night. They've got to have the strength mentally and physically to look after their stock. What about your family? What if somebody's sick? What if somebody's challenged? What if somebody's got something going on in their life and you have to help them? Have you got the mental toughness, the mental strength, the optimism, the solution finding skills to be able to help people? And of course, all of that comes from a healthy, fit, strong body. If you're weak, if you're mentally unhealthy, if your body can't lift something, if you can't run away, if you can't do the things that you need to do, want to do, have to do because your body's weak and frail, where does that leave your life? So could it be a great measurement whether, and a lot of people, having managed gyms for most of my life, most people go to the gym because they want to look good. Very few people say to me, I want to be a great farmer, so I've got to be fit and strong to lift my stock. Or I want to be a great mum, so I need to be mentally tough so I can look after my kids. Most people that go to the gym to get fit, strong, is because they want to look good. So if it's looking good and that is your goal, then what is that? And sadly, having managed gyms all over the world, there's a really uncomfortable question, which is, you've been going to the gym 3, 5, 7 days a week. Are you happy with how you look? And if you've ever been to the gym, you'll know there's a lot of people who exercise on a regular basis, but they don't look good. That's the number one reason they're going to the gym, but they don't look very good. Are you going to the gym 3 days a week and you're still fat is a very uncomfortable question. But the 4 questions that I always ask, if you are doing anything with your life, exercise, eating, or both, surely there's 4 things that you should be able to demand from your eating and exercise program. You should be able to say, I have got a stack of energy, I can go and do all the things that I want to do. I can perform at my best at everything that I want to do, whether it's a parent, a teacher, a coach, build houses, mow lawns, go skiing, be a parent, dance in a nightclub, have a baby. You should be able to perform at your very, very best at all the things that you want to do. You should love what you see in the mirror. Isn't that, whether you exercise for health or not, wouldn't it be great to have a body that looks good? Something you can look at and be really, really proud of. And then, of course, you want it to feel good. So physically from the inside, yes, with a stack of energy, but also to feel good to touch. There's something really special about being in the shower, soaping yourself down or scrubbing your skin and feeling a body that's tight and hard and lean and feels good to touch. Now, that might not be your thing and you might not care. But if it is, surely your exercise program should be giving you that. The reason I'm asking all of these questions is I deal on a daily basis with people that will argue, defend, get angry about, scream at people even for not doing an exercise program or an eating plan that they believe is the best way to eat or the best way to exercise. And I find that really fascinating. First of all, as an old lady, I find it offensive. Why would you tell somebody how to eat and how to exercise? Particularly if you don't look good or if you don't feel good or you don't have a stack of energy. If you're not getting the results that you want from that eating or exercise plan, why would you try and convince somebody else to do it? But the real thing is, whatever's working for you, and you might have ripped abdominals, tight butt cheeks, you might look amazing. And people will look at you and say, I want to look like you, what do you do so that I can do the same thing that you do? And doesn't that just sound ridiculous? Isn't it possible that whatever you have chosen to do is based on what you like to do, what you're good at, what your body's designed to do? Some people love to run, some people hate it. Some people love to go to the gym. Some people will never go to the gym. They absolutely hate it. It's interesting because when you have a look at the statistics worldwide, 9 out of 10 people that do exercise are not getting the results that they want from their eating and exercise program, or they won't stick to it for the rest of their life, or they just don't want to do it. They do it because they think they have to. I don't want to get fat, so I've got to exercise. So whatever that number is, wouldn't it be nice for that not to be the statistic? And there's the question that I always ask. Would the world be a better place, a different place, a more fun place to live if everybody was fit and strong, if everybody was mentally healthy? And that's a big, broad, probably silly thing for me to say, because there's some people that don't want to be fit and healthy. But what if the world was? Would we have less war, less arguments, less gossip, less criticism, less horrible nastiness? We'd probably have a lot less of everything horrible, because a healthy, fit, strong body and brain obviously thinks differently. It does different things. One of the things I take note of when somebody's grumpy or angry or frustrated, or they're swearing at somebody, or they're getting angry at somebody, whether it's somebody in their family or a stranger, obviously you don't feel good about yourself. If you feel really good about yourself and you're a powerful, fit, strong, healthy person, isn't it very unlikely that you'll pick on a weaker person? I always say that about bullying. Bullies only pick on weak people. They never pick on strong people. Strong people don't pick on anybody. Why? You don't need to. You're just living your life and having a great time. One of the other fun things that I always share, if I ever run for politics, which is never, but I always look at the slogans that politicians use, and mine would always be, leave me the hell alone. I want to live my life my way. But imagine a world, and obviously you can't force people to exercise. It's interesting, the government forces you to do a lot of things. You've got to pay your taxes, and if you speed, you get in trouble, and if you don't wear your seatbelt, you get in trouble, and you've got to register your dog, and you've got to pay your house taxes, and maybe the government doesn't force you to do those things, but if you don't, there's very serious consequences, which of course is, if you are forced, imagine this. Imagine a world where to be able to get healthcare, for example, from the government, or to get any kind of help from the government, you had to prove that you were healthy. Now, this is a very, very, very controversial topic, but just imagine that you had to have low resting heart rate, you had to have a healthy blood pressure, you had to have healthy blood sugar levels, you had to prove that you were fit enough to look after yourself and your family, you had to prove that you were strong enough to look after you and your family. What would happen to healthcare costs? What would happen to how many hospitals we would have to build? What would happen to how many doctors' offices? It's just an interesting question. And of course, I'm asking that because as an old lady, I've never been to hospital. I don't get sick, so I don't have to go to the doctor. I'm mentally healthy, so I'm not only looking after me, but I aim to look after other people, inspire, motivate, live the example of healthy, fit and strong so that other people can be too. So here's a very personal question. You can live however you want to, of course, but do you want to be the living, breathing example of somebody who can hike, bike, ski, snowboard, rock climb, live your life the way you want to live it? Whatever it is that you want to do you have a body, a brain, a life that can do all of those things? And is it possible that if you do live like that, you could be a living example for other people who are weak and frail, who don't want to exercise? And that's my big deal with exercise. When people say, Rowie, how much exercise do you do? My answer is always as little as possible. I work at 100% effort for a very short period of time to get my 100% fittest and 100% strongest. So I don't waste time doing exercise, that I can never make an excuse for not exercising, but I want to live my life as a healthy, fit, strong, lean, energetic person. How about you? Are you fit? Are you strong? Are you doing it in a short period of time? Is it a safe exercise program? Because of course, if you're injured, can't do anything. And then wouldn't it be awesome to wake up every day? And I've woken up this morning. Yesterday, obviously, it snowed all day. We had a pretty wild couple of days before that with wind and weather. And look, today, there's no wind. There's beautiful snow on the ground, the sun's shining, and life is amazing. So if you're ever stressed, remember that this too shall pass. But if you've got a healthy, fit, strong body, doesn't matter what life throws at you, you can enjoy the awesome days because you're healthy, fit and strong, and you can enjoy the challenge of the tough days because you're healthy, fit and strong. That's how you live your life to the max. Is that possible? Live your life to the max. Check out the snowy mountain. It's chockers. Looks like wedding cake icing. Woohoo! So beautiful. Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it.